Hey everybody, it's Zach. Welcome back to the Heroverse. And guys, I just got done with Superman and Lois, Season 3, Episode 5, titled Head On. Guys, as always, another great episode of Superman and Lois. I'm really enjoying this show. But before I get into my thoughts on the episode, I just want to start off by saying that we do not have Superman and Lois next week. We have a week next week. We have a week, week off break, and then we'll be back, I think, on the 25th, if I'm correct. So that sucks, definitely, because I didn't really want to take a break. I'm loving that, we just keep going, and it sucks because we're at the kind of like at the way they left off this episode. It really annoys me that they're giving us a week off break by the way they ended this episode, because by the way they ended this episode got me really hyped for the next episode to come and what's going to be happening. There was a lot of things that happened in last week's episode with Jordan getting his suit, which I'm super happy that he got like a costume finally. It's kind of like, I would say, in a way, it's like a prototype costume, because I don't think that's going to be like the final costume he gets, whether we get another season or not. I think he'll get like upgraded, but I'm just glad that like Jordan finally has a suit. We have yet to see it in action. I do think we're going to see it in action in the next episode that we get in episode 6. But in this episode, this was a pretty, this episode really hit me in my feels with the Clark and Lois stuff in this episode, and mainly where, Clark is at in this episode, because of, the way of him and Sam are kind of having a hard time, letting Lois make her own decisions about, what she wants to do, and the decisions that, she wants to make about her going through chemo. So it's kind of like, Clark, we really haven't seen where he is at about everything that's going on, and we really know where Sam is at, that Sam really isn't happy that Lois wants to go to Bruno Mannheim's kind of facility. It's called, I think it's called, I forget what the name of his facility is called. It's like his hospital. It's called let me know, guys. I can't remember on the top of my head, but he doesn't feel okay that Lois wants to go to his facility. And of course, Clark's like, it's up to Lois on what she thinks. It's up to Lois on what she knows that she can handle, and if she thinks she can handle this, and this is making her, and this is she's trying to she's trying to multitask by her getting her treatment, but also at the same time she's investigating Bruno Mannheim. I'm gonna allow her to do it. I'm gonna let her do what she knows that she is capable of doing, and and she knows her limits. And if she knows that she can do this, I'm gonna let her do it. And in a way, it's kind of like he's understanding kind of where Sam is coming from in this episode, of kind of I need to stop sitting back and letting you make the decisions on what you get to choose you want to do, because in reality, it's like this affects everybody. And it's like you need to rest, because in this episode, she's going to Bruno Mannheim's facility to get her second round of chemo. And it's kind of like, in a way, he got the chance to talk to other ladies that are actually going through, chemo as well, going through their chemotherapy, their treatment. And, this one lady was saying, there's a thing called, there's a thing called pull. And it's a thing where it's the disease, it's kind of like you want to give in to the disease and you want to let go. It's not that you don't love your loved ones and you want to keep fighting, but you just want to let go, and it just pulls you in. And it's she, as much as you talk about Lois, she's going to need that strength that you're talking about, that your wife has. And it's kind of like he thinks to himself, oh shit, Sam was right. I need to stop letting Lois make the decisions, and I need to start making we need to make these decisions together. It's not just her decision on about the decisions that she's going to make about her going through chemo. It's he needs to be involved, and he needs to be involved, and he needs to be the one to be like, yo, look, I think that you need to take a step back, and I think you need to recover, because she's just going full force into investigating Bruno Mannheim at his facility, and she ends up getting caught, mind you. She ends up getting caught by Bruno Mannheim. He ends up saying I have nothing to hide. This is why I started this is why I started, this hospital out in suicide slums, is because, my mother, we started getting sick, and I didn't know what was going on. And, we ended up finding out there was a waste plant right in our neighborhood, and, I wanted to do something about it. And I'm not going to let you stand in my way I'm not going to let you stand in my way about me saving, my people and stuff like that. And I really felt bad. I gotta admit, I really felt bad for Bruno Mannheim, and I feel like he's such a good villain, where it's I really And in reality, it's like he is saving people. He's doing it in a terrible way, but he's saving people with Clark's blood. He's initially saving people. Yeah, he's giving bad people powers, but like initially he's playing God and saving people. So in reality, it's like he was not necessarily, in a way, he wasn't not necessarily lying to Lois when he said, I'm not gonna let you stand in my way I'm not gonna let you stand in my way about me saving my people and saving people from dying, and I'm gonna do everything in my power to save you. So it's like, in a way, it's like I'm thinking my theory could possibly be right, where like I could see we kind of know like what Bruno Mannheim does to kind of like his kind of does to people that are kind of in his system at the hospital. He ends up he ends up putting them through trials and essentially giving them powers. I don't know if he's gonna do that to Lois, but that kind of makes me wonder. Like he said, I'm gonna do everything in my power to save you. And I'm thinking, as we've seen, his version of saving people is him injecting people with superpowers. So it kind of makes me wonder, are they going to do that to Lois? Is that how Lois is going to survive? It just makes me wonder, because that's initially how he is saving people. He's playing God with Superman's blood. So in a way, he wasn't really lying to Lois when he said, I'm not going to let you stand in my way by me saving people. And in a way, he thinks he's saving people, but at what cost? He's playing God. Like I said, he's essentially, that's what he's doing with stuff he does not understand. But in his mind, he's like, I'm saving people, and that's what I set out to do. So it's like, it's like, you really feel bad for Bruno from where he came from, and you kind of like are thinking to himself, like, in a way, he's like, he is saving people, but he's playing God, and he's messing with things he does not understand, and he shouldn't be doing that, and giving bad people the abilities of these, giving bad people powers. You shouldn't be doing that. So it's, in a way, I'm really loving it with this villain. I'm kind of like, I really see what you're trying to do, but you're doing it in a wrong way. And it's like, you really felt for him in that moment when he was telling Lois, like, I'm not hiding anything from you, I'll give you the papers. It's kind of like, you kind of like, in a way, I feel like maybe in a way Lois kind of saw a different light for Bruno Mannheim, but even still, yet she still is like, I don't buy it. I still want to take this man down. I know he's lying about him being a part of Intergang and doing all these things. And Clark is just seeing, like, you're not like seeing the big picture here, where it's like, I understand that you want to do this, but like, I need to get a say on you. When I say you need to recover, you need to recover. So I just love that. I feel like the family element this season has just been so strong, and I'm really loving how, like, this about Lois having stage 3 breast cancer has been bringing the whole family closer than they've ever been. And I'm just really like loving the close family dynamic this season, and like this topic being brought up. And it makes you just wonder of like, it makes you wonder, like, damn, like, this is a tough decision. And you know what I mean? It's like, and it's like, you're happy for Lois in a way that she wants to keep pushing and being this reporter, but you're like, no, like, take a step back, like, let Clark deal with the reporting. You need to recover. And it's like, but I'm so happy that Lois is like, that's in a way, that's Lois fighting. It's like she's getting her treatment, but she's still fighting the good fight and wanting to just, and she sees the bigger picture to herself, and the bigger picture is taking down Bruno Mannheim. And it's like, also, yeah, like, me doing my treatment, yeah, but like, the bigger picture is me taking him down. And it's like, for Clark, it's like, there will always be another Bruno Mannheim. He's kind of agreeing with Sam on that. He's like, you need to take a minute and like, kind of like, you have a moment to rest. But like, I love at the end of this episode, like, Lois understands now that what Clark was saying, because like, Lois wanted to go to the Valentine's Day dance, which we have that in this episode, and she wants to go, but she doesn't have, like, she in the way, she's like, I want to go, but I can't go, because one, I think she was low on energy because of her second round of chemo. So it's kind of like, things are starting to kick into gear when you start to feel a little bit weaker because of the medicine in you. And on top of that, it's like, she's like, I can admit when I'm wrong, you know what I mean? And I do think that you should be able to make you should be able to make decisions in what's going on, about these decisions of me going through chemotherapy, and it shouldn't just be my decision. It should be a family decision about what's going on and what I should be doing, you know what I mean? And we should talk about it. It shouldn't just be my decision. Because in reality, it's like, it's a family thing. It's like, she should communicate with Clark, and they should both talk about, and they both should be able to agree on something, without her just making the decision and making him feel like he can't give his take on what she should do. So I really felt bad when she said, I can't go. I felt bad. I was like, no, because you really start to feel like, damn, like, it's starting now, where like Lois is starting to get a little weaker, and I mean, it's really sad seeing that, but just knowing that Clark is there, and knowing that she admitted to her being wrong and saying, like, you should have a say and what I should be doing too. And I was really happy about that. And it was cute when they danced at the end, saying like she's like, oh, I'm really sad I missed the dance. Because they didn't end up getting pictures. Like, damn, like, it's the only thing. Like, like, she's like, dang, I feel really upset that I can't go to the dance. And my highlight, and I was really looking forward to those pictures. And he's like, it's not too late. And Clark, it's just so cute for the fact that he pulled out his phone, moved the table, and he slow danced with Lois. He still gave her that dance, if she was up for it. And I love those little moments because it's like, he's right there with her. And I mean, in her going through this treatment, he's right there with her, by her side, and I'm loving that. In this episode, also we have I think his name was I think it's Mateo, if I'm correct. The dude that that likes Natalie. I think his name is Mateo. I think I'm correct. He definitely, Sam thinks he's sus. Thinks that, okay, this dude came out of nowhere. And he just was so happened to know where to go, and know where to come to Smallville, and know where to find the farm to find Natalie. And it makes me want, and I felt a little bit sus about Mateo a little bit as well. I kind of felt like, okay, like, I feel like I especially in this episode when Sam said there's something off about him, it makes me think like, okay, I definitely think, because I had this theory last week. Or I think it was last week, or I can't remember, I think it was maybe the episode before that, with when they went to the party, Sarah, Jordan, and, Jonathan, and Mateo ran into Natalie saying, oh, I saw you at, at Metropolis High, but then you left or whatever before I got to talk to you, and you just so happened to come across her at the party. I feel like that is Bruno Mannheim's son. I just have a weird feeling that he is kind of like Bruno tasked, Mateo to keep an eye on Natalie, just in case John Henry might get out of the line, or he might do something, so that way he has someone close, so that way he can that person can take out Natalie. I might be thinking too much into it, but I have a feeling that I feel like Sam kind of made me even think more of this could be, my theory could be right, where Mateo actually isn't a good dude. I think that's his name. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments below, but I definitely feel like he might be Bruno Mannheim's son. I can't help but think that. But, he actually ended up wanted, I guess, Sarah convinced him, to go to, I guess, because he found Sarah online and asked Sarah for Natalie's number. And she's like, no, you should come here and ask Natalie yourself. And he did go. He just so happened to be in the town, and so happened to come across Jordan. And Jordan, so Jordan could take him to go straight to Natalie. It just felt okay, I feel like you definitely have an angle here. And he asked Sarah to the Valentine's Day dance at it wasn't held at the school because of the stuff that was in the school walls. I can't remember what it was, but it was held at some I think it was not a town, and maybe it was at the town hall, whatever place that they were having their Valentine's Day dance. And Jordan, of course, went stag. He went solo. Jonathan was with Candace, but Jonathan ends up finding out that Candace is leaving Smallville and is staying with her aunt 4 hours away, and he was kind of questioning how is this gonna work, because she's like, oh, you could see me on the weekends. But Jonathan earlier in the episode came across Kyle, because his truck broke down, and Kyle kind of offered him a job during the weekends, to volunteer to be a volunteer firefighter almost in training at what I mean, on the weekend, because he couldn't do the week because he works wherever during the week. And instantly, right away, when she's like, oh, when he finds out from Candace that, oh, I'm leaving, I'm going to live with my aunt 4 hours outside of Smallville, and she's like, oh, you could still see me on the weekend. And he kind of thinks to himself, oh, he has to go tell, he kind of thinks to himself, how am I gonna do this internship I want to do with Kyle on the weekends if and make time with Candace? And he of course goes to Kyle at the dance, and Kyle's with Chrissy, which I totally support. Kyle and Chrissy, I'm loving that. I really am rooting for them, and I'm hoping that relationship sticks and it happens. But he tells Kyle I can't do the weekends after all. I'll try doing it during the week if something came up. And he's like, oh, maybe this isn't for you. And I think if Jonathan would have said my girlfriend is leaving Smallville, she's gonna be 4 hours away, I'm working during the week, but I can maybe cut some time where I'm working some days during the week at my other job, and I could do some of the other days during the week with you, volunteering with you at the fire department. But also so that way I could see my girlfriend on the weekends. I feel like Kyle would have understood if Jonathan would have just blurted it out, but he just didn't do that. And it kind of like, Kyle's like, you have to make a decision, like, what's more important. And when he went up to Candace, I was really afraid that, like, he was going to tell Candace I want to break up, like, you know what I mean? But Candace initially, like, said, like, when she found out that about Jonathan getting, like, getting the offer about doing the kind of, like, volunteer firefighter stuff with Kyle, she initially wanted to be like, okay, I can't let you sacrifice anything else for me. Your family and you have sacrificed so much for me. I'm gonna, like, you need to take this, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? If it means that we gotta, you don't get to see me as much, let's do it. It kind of sounded like, like, oh, like, I can't let you do this, like, let's break up. I can't let you try to sacrifice another thing for me. But in reality, he, I don't think it was like that. She's like, you will find some, she's like, I can't let you give that up. And he's like, then when are we gonna find time to see each other? And she's like, we'll find time to see each other. I hope it lasts. I hope they end up making it work. But long distance relationships really don't work very well. You have to really, really, like, that's a really big commitment, a long distance relationship. But if you love someone, you can do it. I think it's possible. I feel like for a lot of people, they just want to just use the excuse of, oh, it's a hard thing to do, let's just break up. I think it's worth a shot. A lot of people don't even give it a shot, and I do think that I'm glad that they're going to give it a shot, and hopefully it works. I'm really rooting for Jonathan, because I feel like Jonathan, can, at the end of the day, cannot catch a break, and it really pisses me off. And I'm loving this new Jonathan, and it kind of sucks that he's losing Candace. I felt like, Candace just started getting kind of a bigger role of her moving into the Kent house on the farm. I kind of liked how she was kind of getting a bigger role, but now that she's going to be gone, it's kind of like, damn, that sucks. And I kind of was, like, interested to see how that was going to go with, like, Candace being in the same house as Jonathan. Would that maybe make things more difficult in their relationship? Maybe would that make things easier in their relationship? Would that bring her in more on storylines? Maybe would that open the door for maybe her finding out Jordan's secret? Maybe, I don't know. I feel like there was just so many possibilities that would have been fun. But it just sucks that she's leaving. I was really warming up to the Candace character, even though initially I really didn't like her because of, like, all the shit that was getting Jonathan in trouble back in season 2. But, at the end of the day, hopefully that's a character that we will see occasionally for the rest of the season. Maybe make some like, appearances. I hope so. But, I honestly don't know. But other than that, Kyle and Chrissy slept again with each other, but they had a cute dance sequence where, he got Chrissy up to dance, and Chrissy said, what am I doing? And it's like, Chrissy, you deserve happiness. Kyle, you shouldn't feel guilty, because Kyle and Lana are divorced. Kyle should be able to move on, same as how Lana should be able to move on, and she kind of is with John Henry. Yeah, nothing is officially stuck, but we see the chemistry between Lana and John Henry. It's bound to happen at some point. And Lana wouldn't care if Lana found out that Chrissy and Kyle are kind of, like, seeing each other. I don't think Lana would care. You know what I mean? And I feel really bad that Chrissy kind of thinks that, oh, if Lana finds out, she'll care. And, oh, like, me messing around with Kyle, does that make me a bad person because I'm friends with Lana? I don't want Chrissy to feel that way, but she's just such a pure of heart character that I can understand why she feels that way. And she deserves happiness. She deserves so many great things, Chrissy. She's such a nice girl, like, lady. You know what I mean? And she deserves the best. I think Kyle and her, like, Kyle brings out the best in her, and Chrissy brings out the best in Kyle. I really love that relationship. I think that's, like, my favorite relationship of this season out of the whole, like, John Henry and Lana thing. That's okay, cool. But I'm really into supporting, like, the Chrissy and the Kyle thing. I can't believe I didn't see it sooner. But I just really ship that relationship. Of course, the fight sequence where, Clark gets pulled away before going to, when he finally says, okay, like, I'll get dressed to go to the dance because you want to go, even though I think you should stay home and kind of, take a breather and recover due to your second round of chemotherapy. He ends up getting, of course, a distress signal, and here's what's going on at the DOD, because Bruno Mannheim pumped this one dude full of, like, phasing juice where he's able to phase out. And he was breaking into the DOD to get information and put it up on a hard drive and, like, get all the like, kind of, like, the top secret information, whether it be, like, on tech or whether it be on just, secrets that the DOD has. And what really annoys me, that really pissed me off in this episode, and this was probably, like, the biggest thing that my one biggest nitpick about this episode definitely has to be when Clark flies in the room. And the dude's about the phasing dude's about was, like, trying to kill the one general lady that kind of, like, that like saved Clark's blood. I think she was the one that did that at the time. The one that Clark talked to in the last episode with Sam. He says, "Get out of here." And Clark initially, like when he goes in, he sees that there is a hard drive connected to the computer that's like, you know what I mean? It's like a magnet hard drive that's downloading all the data, and he doesn't destroy it right away and tries to fight this dude. I said, bro, laser vision it and then beat this dude's ass. That really pissed me off. I'm like, Superman would just not let that thing download sensitive information in the DOD. He would laser it first, as quick as he did to the blood when he found out they were keeping blood. So, if anything, I'm pissed that the writers made it where he didn't laser that first. I just don't see that him being that dumb to not do that and just start fighting some dude. And I felt like once he found out he wasn't able to put his hands on that phasing dude, he should have just stopped at that point. Like, what was the point of keeping going, trying to run into him and trying to punch him? It's not going to work. And even his cold breath didn't work. His laser vision didn't work. He caught on to the fact that it was because of the chest plate that was making him being able to, like, phase out and shift. He, like, punched the chest plate and then, like, kind of, like, and then he clapped him into the wall, and then he kind of got stuck into the wall and couldn't phase up because the chest plate was, like, messed up. Cool. But already, by then, like, it already transferred all the stuff to, to what's-his-face, to Bruno Mannheim. Already transferred all that information to Bruno. So it just makes me know that he went in there, saw the thing downloading data, started fighting a dude that he realized, okay, like, I can't touch him, and then and finally it caught on to, like, I gotta break his plate so that way he stops shifting in and out, so that way I can trap him. But by then it was already too late because he didn't take out the hard drive in the beginning of the fight, and he saw it, and he just kept just went after the dude. I'm like, no, laser, then go after. That was my biggest nitpick. I'm like, Superman would just not, like, there's no way. I was like, Superman, if he saw a villain trying to download crucial top secret information that essentially could screw him over and screw over the world, he would laser it first before kicking ass, before wrecking shop. That was just dank to me, bro. That was a meme. But at the end of this episode, I also, really felt bad for Sam because Sam was talking to Natalie when Natalie, because, like I said, Mateo ends up taking Natalie to the dance. Natalie ends up kind of getting, kind of in a way, I would say in a way feels embarrassed on the fact that she's never kissed a dude. She's never, dated. And she's like, I feel like I'm behind everybody else. And Sam could relate because Sam's like, I feel very behind too because I never got to experience the things I wanted to do in life because I was a general. You know what I mean? I was trying to become the general and stuff like that. I really never got time to, to be romantic and to date and do all these things. So I really felt bad for Sam. Like, Sam really doesn't really get the chance to find love. And that was sad hearing that, you know what I mean? He doesn't really get it. He never really got to, like, recover, especially after, like, his wife left. So it was really nice for them to bond though, her and and Sam, and it was really cute and really, like, made me say, oh, it was when Natalie said thank you grandpa to Sam, because in a way, like, this Sam on this earth is Natalie's, like, grandpa, you know what I mean? It's kind of like Natalie's adoptive grandpa almost, you know what I mean? Like, they kind of, like, adopted Natalie into the family, so initially that kind of makes Sam her grandpa, you know what I mean? And Sam's face too when she said that, he was almost like it was almost like a face of like, oh, like, that's, like, I'm happy that you would call me that, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm loving that, even though he knows in a way he's not her grandpa, like the grandpa that she had on her earth, but he realizes he's becoming that, and he feels very like this is very, like, heartwarming that you would call me your grandpa, you know what I mean, that I can be that for you. So that was just a really sweet scene that he was there for her. But other than that though, an overall great episode. I didn't really like the Lana and the whole Mayor George's son Junior yelling at Lana at the diner saying, like, oh, you cheated in the race, and oh, why haven't you said any good things about my dad after he died, and blah 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 blah. I'm really hoping that Sarah doesn't end up dating Junior. I have a bad feeling that that's what's going to end up happening. that like they're gonna start dating or some weird shit, because like she was there for him at the end of the episode when like he ran out of the dance and he like was drinking. He was like, and he was just really sad about missing his dad, and of course, you know, Sarah was there to listen, and he said, you know, I really miss my dad, Sarah, and he was like crying in her lap. It makes me think that, oh my god, like, are they gonna make it where like she ends up starting to date this kid, Jordan gets jealous? I don't want any of that crap to happen. I'm hoping that that was just like a one-time thing, and it's not like, oh, she's gonna start dating that kid out of nowhere. I hope they don't go that route, but I do see that junior kid being around in her life now, because she kind of feel, in a way, they both felt responsible, that they kind of stopped being each other's friends. So I feel like he will definitely be in the plot line more, and she'll kind of like, she'll want to be his friend again, because they kind of had a moment where like, you know, we both stopped being friends, like let's like, and she was there for him again. I feel like he definitely, I could see them possibly doing that storyline where like they do start dating, but I hope that's not the case. And I'm hoping that, you know, they'll give, I don't know if they'll do this, but I'm hoping they kind of give Jordan a new love interest, because in a way, I don't want it to be like, okay, like, it just so happens that, you know, he's waiting all this time, and then Sarah just happens to come to her senses, and she wants to start dating Jordan again. I want it to be like Jordan, like, how real life works when, you know, like, when something doesn't work out, there's other people out there. I want him to just, you know, maybe have encounters with other girls, and him, you know, dating. I want them to do that, but I don't think they're going to do that, because they want, like, Sarah to be, like, his Lois Lane, you know what I mean? They want him, like, Sarah to be that kind of character for him, be like his love interest, and it's like, I don't really care for that. I want him to like realize that there's other people out there, like Jonathan said in the party episode, to get Jordan's mind off of Sarah, you know what I mean, and kind of think about the possibility of meeting new people. So I want that for that character, but I don't think they'll do that. And I'm really excited, because I know in the next episode, in episode 6, we're going to see Jordan's costume finally. I definitely think we're going to get that. I think it's going to be at the end of the episode. I definitely think that's what's going to end up happening, because Clark is going to need help, and Lois is, like, ends up telling, you know, Jordan, like, hey, go help your father, you know what I mean? And we're going to see the way the new suit looks. I hope it has the family crest on it. I don't know if it will. We'll just have to wait and see. I can imagine that they'll probably do that firsthand, but you never know. I honestly hope so, and if not, I hope they do it before they end the series for good. Also, I love the part when Clark was fighting the one phase shifting dude, when he was hitting like Clark with the kryptonite knife and shanking him and stuff, and we saw like the marks on the suit when he was cutting him. The suit was healed itself, and somebody pointed it out where it did happen in season 2, where like a suit, when like they when I think it was the DoD, when they shot, or I think it was the military or the DoD, either or, when they shot Clark with the kryptonite bullets and he pulled them out, the suit healed. I really saw that firsthand here, and I loved it. I was like, that's actually sick. His like suit has a healing factor. Not only that, but the suit this time around I've been really enjoying, because I'm seeing it, and the S is definitely raised, and it looks amazing. So I've warmed up to this new suit a lot, and I really am enjoying this new suit. I would love to get a Superman suit, and if I would ever get a Superman suit, it would definitely be his version of the Superman suit, because it's just fire, and I think it looks very appealing, and I think it's very classic looking, and I love it. But other than that, guys, like I said, loved this episode. Another great episode. Loving this season. It's definitely, things have just, you know, gotten progressively good, whether it comes to the CGI or whether it comes to, like, the family dynamic. It just, I'm loving the stuff we were getting this season. And we still have yet to get Lex. And I can't wait to talk about the end of this episode. By the end of this episode, they end up, one of the things that they end up getting that was on that was in the DoD kind of, you know, computers, was that they had the body of Bizarro still. So they still have Bizarro's Superman, and essentially they now have it. Or the inverse Superman, but in reality I'm going to call him like Bizarro Superman, you know what I mean? Inverse Bizarro, whatever. But they have the corpse of Bizarro in their possession. So now they have the blood, unlimited supply of blood of Superman right there. Which is like, oh shit, it's like, I don't know how this is going to go. I'm a little worried, will they pump that into Lois? I don't know, and maybe, like, I don't know. Is there a chance that Lois could become bad or something? Like, it would save her, but then she would become a villain? What if they did some cool shit like that? I don't know if they will, but, like, that's just theories, and me going with theories and stuff, and him saying, like, I'll do anything to save you, Lois. And it kind of makes me wonder, like, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, he pumps her with, like, something that could save her, but in reality, like, it ends up being that type of stuff. and like she ends up becoming bad, and he has to, and then the next season, if we get another season, is like him trying to like save her or some shit like that, like by curing her or something from like her being bad or something. I don't know. There's just like, that's a long shot theory, but like I feel like there's no good coming out of them having the possession of Bizarro Superman. There's like no, and also him knowing, Bruno Mannheim even knowing about there is even a Bizarro Superman and what possibilities he can do with that body. He could like jumpstart it for all we know, and he can like control that Superman again. I mean, it would just kind of feel like, it would feel like almost like it was like a copy and paste of what we got in season 2, but in reality, like they could do, it would be, the possibilities are endless when you have a limited supply of Superman, blood, and what you could do with that. So that's just really, what a cliffhanger. Like I said, it's really annoying to me that we have to wait. We won't have Superman and Lois next week. We have to wait a week before we get the next episode. So that does suck, definitely. But I definitely want to play the promo for you guys, which I'm actually going to back out of here real quick. I do not have it preset, so I'm actually going to have to go onto YouTube real quick and get it up for you guys. Like I said, I'm sorry about that. I didn't have it all like set up personally. I think I'm gonna leave that right here, the desktop volume. Hopefully it's not too loud for you guys. I don't know what the hell. Okay, there we go. YouTube, and then we'll get it up right here. And Lois, season 3. Oh, I think the promo's right here. Is that the promo? Yeah, that's the promo right here. Okay, I'm gonna click it, pause it, put it back. Okay, the volume. I think the volume is good. So, shouldn't be too loud. Definitely, guys, let me know if it is too loud. Definitely let me know. Like I said, it really shouldn't be too loud because I kind of turned it down. I can actually turn it down even, like, I'll do it, like, to 60 probably. Or maybe I'll do it to 50. 50 should be good. 50 should be good. All right, guys, we're going to get into it in 3, 2, 1. Let's get to it right about now.
Every time I finish one of your lessons, you just add another. And I'm sick of it.
This is the real world. It takes one mistake to lose everything.
I feel really powerless.
Even Superman has his limits. We need to help him.
Dad said I wasn't ready.
Go save your father.
See, guys, it looks good. It looks good. I'm excited. I cannot wait. I'm pumped. Like I said, I'm pumped for the next episode because Jordan's gonna come out and Jordan's gonna like help Clark, and Clark is gonna realize that Jordan is capable of helping now. He's tired of the lessons. He wants to go out and go and help the world. He doesn't want to wait anymore. And I feel like Clark should understand that because remember, when he wanted to leave Smallville, he didn't want to wait anymore. He knew what his calling was. He didn't want to wait anymore. He's like, I want to go. I want to be Superman. Like, I want to do this. So in a way, it's like he wants to leave the nest. He's like, I don't want the train anymore. I want to go out. I know enough. You taught me a lot. It's time for me to go out there. I'm not saying on my own, but I'm saying like you can't bench me. You know what I mean? I want to get out there and help. And and I feel like he should understand that. And I feel like after, like, once he gets saved by Jordan from whoever's, like, making him, like, hug his ears like that, probably that, like, spiral creature. I always forget that spiral creature's name. But, like, I think it's, like, it's like, it may be doing something like a sound wave that's really hurting his, like, ears. And I think that's when Jordan's going to come in, probably sock the crap out of that, like, person. And then Clark is going to realize that I shouldn't have been benching you. Like, I do think that you are ready. And I think we'll have a lot more cooler sequences once that happens. And he'll be more out and about saving people. And it'll just be badass. That's what I'm really hoping for. But, guys, yet again, let me know if that sounded good. It sounded a little bit low. I'll have it preset next time, so that way it's like I'm not messing around with like the volume setting. Definitely, if it was a little bit low and you haven't seen the promo for episode 6, I'll probably put it up in my community tab, so that way you guys can go watch it. Or if you guys want to just search it, so that way it's easier for you guys. That way you don't have to go all like search up Superman and Lois season 3 promo for episode 6. I'll just probably put it up in the community tab just to make sure that you guys can hear it and it sounds good. Hopefully it sounds good. I won't know until like I play it back. When I put up the video for you guys. But definitely let me know, guys, how'd you like tonight's episode? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Let me know how excited you are for episode 6. Let me know your theories about about where the rest of the season can go. Let me know if you guys have any cool theories. But yet again here, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, put on those notifications, like this video. I'd love to have you guys here, part of the family, part of the channel. We're all about spreading love, positivity, and motivation. And yet again, guys, we're almost to 700 subscribers. That is the goal, to hit 700 subscribers. So yet again, I would love it if you could subscribe to the channel, put on those notifications, and like this video. My initial goal by the end of this year is to hit 1,000 subscribers. So again, if you love Superman and Lois, or if you love Superman in general, definitely subscribe to the channel, put on those notifications, and like this video. And yeah, guys, that was the video. I hope everybody has a great day, a safe day, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.